What if The Rock answered Toronto's rejection by joining the very faction that had tried to destroy him and replacing Hogan as the face of the nWo? Documented history first. WWF announced Hogan, Hall, and Nash as the returning nWo for No Way Out on February 17, identifying them as the faction's original WCW founders. Vince McMahon introduced them in storyline as Poison during his ownership struggle with Ric Flair. At No Way Out, they interfered against Steve Austin and marked his back after Chris Jericho retained the championship. Rock challenged Hogan after their February 18th confrontation. The nWo retaliated, and the angle culminated with Hogan driving a tractor-trailer into the ambulance containing Rock. Rock later returned to continue the fight. March 17, 2002, WrestleMania X8. Austin defeated Hall, and Rock defeated Hogan. Our exact cutoff is immediately after Rock's winning 3-count, before any post-match interaction. From the referee's next motion forward, this timeline is entirely fictional. Here begins the rewrite. Hogan rises and offers respect, but Hall and Nash appear at ringside. Rock looks toward the crowd, pulls Hogan close, and drops him with another rock bottom. The expected reconciliation never happens. Hall and Nash do not recruit Rock as a fourth member. They accept him as Hogan's replacement. Rock takes a plain black armband and raises their hands while Hogan watches the faction he founded leave without him. On the next hypothetical Raw, Rock's imagined promo is summarized, not quoted. Our fictional version interprets Toronto's response as proof that nostalgia can eclipse achievement. The audience did not force this turn. In this what if, Rock chooses to weaponize it. Vince attempts to present the new faction as his successful weapon. Rock's response is again summarized. The nWo will not serve an owner. This decision keeps the group dangerous, while preventing the story from reducing Rock to somebody else's subordinate. Hogan asks Austin to help dismantle the group. Austin distrusts both Hogan and any alliance built around him. Booker T offers the practical answer. Nobody needs friendship, but isolated targets are exactly what the nWo wants. Rock selects Austin for the hypothetical Backlash match because beating the nWo's first WWF target would validate his takeover. Hall and Nash are barred from ringside, ensuring that Rock must win without simply repeating their No Way Out ambush. Rock and Austin wrestle evenly. Hall and Nash appear at the entrance, but never reach ringside because Hogan intercepts them. Austin looks toward the fight, expecting betrayal from every direction. Rock immediately catches him and earns the pin without direct interference. The victory gives Rock a claim nobody can dismiss, but the finish has a consequence. Austin blames Hogan's presence for breaking his focus. Hogan insists he prevented interference. Rock leaves both men arguing, having proven division is more useful than cheating. Booker publicly identifies the weakness in Rock's revolution. Every faction member except Rock has become supporting machinery. Rock responds with a membership offer, reasoning that Booker's WCW stature could modernize the group. Booker rejects a place beneath anyone. Across weekly television, Hall and Nash disrupt Booker's matches, while Rock observes rather than attacks. Hogan repeatedly helps Booker. The purpose is psychological. Rock wants Booker to associate independence with constant danger, and membership with relief. Booker refuses to bend. At the hypothetical Judgment Day, Hall, Nash, and Hogan are barred from ringside. Rock survives Booker's faster opening, attacks the body, and counters a late finishing attempt. Rock wins clean, because Booker must become a credible rival through performance, not an immediate upset. After winning fairly, Rock still summons Hall and Nash for an attack. That choice reveals insecurity rather than dominance. Hogan makes the save, but Austin watches from the entrance and leaves. Rock has beaten Booker. He has not broken him or unified the opposition. Booker argues that Austin's refusal is already helping the nWo. Austin agrees to one match, not a friendship. A 6-man contest is booked for the hypothetical King of the Ring. Rock, Hall, and Nash against Booker, Hogan, and Austin. The reluctant coalition initially succeeds because Booker supplies speed, Hogan absorbs punishment, and Austin cuts off interference. Rock cannot isolate one personality. For the first time, the new nWo looks less like an inevitable movement and more like 3 men competing for control. Hall finally catches Hogan and has the pin secured. Rock blind tags himself throws Hall aside and takes the winning fall. The nWo wins, but Hall's expression supplies the real finish. Rock would rather endanger the faction than let a founder receive credit. Hall challenges Rock's leadership on weekly television. Rock does not attack him immediately. He reframes dissent as failure. Nash remains silent between his founding partner and the faction's new centerpiece, making his eventual choice the story's central reversal. Rock creates a no disqualification match between Hall and Booker for the hypothetical vengeance. If Hall loses, he leaves the nWo. Hall accepts to prove that founding the group still means something. Booker accepts because defeating any version of the faction advances his cause. Hall is closing on victory when Rock pulls him off the cover. Hall turns to Nash for help. Nash instead drops his founding partner, choosing Rock's visibility over their history. Booker takes the pin, Hall is expelled, and the nWo survives by sacrificing its own identity. Rock recruits Chris Jericho as Hall's replacement. The choice connects to documented history. The nWo had already helped Jericho against Austin at No Way Out. In this fictional continuation, Jericho sees access and protection, while Rock gains a member with no claim to founding authority. Hall's expulsion changes Austin's calculation. The faction is no longer merely targeting rivals. It is erasing anyone who challenges Rock. Austin commits to Booker and Hogan for a SummerSlam elimination match. Hogan asks for cooperation, not forgiveness, giving Austin a believable reason to agree. At the hypothetical SummerSlam, Austin eliminates Jericho first. Rock engineers a legal blind tag that lets Nash catch Austin. Hogan then eliminates Nash, but Rock survives Hogan's charge and pins him. The sprawling faction war narrows to the two men Rock considered most important, himself and Booker. Rock controls the final exchange and attempts the same rock bottom that began this rewrite. Booker counters into a sudden cradle, forces Rock to expend his last escape, then lands his decisive finish and pins him clean. Booker wins through endurance, not faction betrayal or outside rescue. The hypothetical aftermath reshapes every next chapter. Booker becomes a proven lead without needing a world title. Hogan retires the black and white identity instead of reclaiming it. Hall pursues Nash. Jericho questions his bargain, and Rock stands alone, having captured the nWo only to hollow it out.